world, and welcome to the episode of the B Squad Backstage. Yes.
I know kids, you don't have your side to say on this.
What? I got a book to say about this. And we are the B Squad. That's right. Great show for you today, so stay tuned.
This is Keisha Williams with the Bee's Nest. Be enriched, be educated, and be excellent.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Keith Vance with some of that real spiel.
It's a crazy time right now, but we just want to bring some light to your day, all right? So we have a great show for you today, all right? I felt bad. Me and the other boy, we both 6'5" characters in there. Say B Squad.
B Squad.
Say it loud.
B Squad.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of B Squad Backstage.
Yeah.
I am your host, Keisha Williams, and these are
Keith Vance.
DJ Mifflin.
and we are the
B
Squad.
So today we have a really special episode that's kind of special to my heart because you guys know with doing all the modeling and working with talent backstage, one of the great things about being in the industry is working with designers.
Right.
And because we just had our Sweet 16 episode, we wanted to reach out to designers in the community and business owners in the community. So today we have with us via Zoom Mr. Carl Dortch. He is the owner, operator, creator, designer, founder, creative, artistic developer behind Perfect Nobodies.
Hey, what's happening?
What
What's
up,
happening, bro? What up? What's
Hey,
happening?
in the photo shoot, the Perfect Nobody shirts.
Yes.
The one that I wore in it. Appreciate that, bro. Because everybody's looking at the pictures and be like, yo, that's a dope shirt you got on. Like, it brought out that, like, because it brought out the Afrocentricity to the shoot, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, everybody else, we had cool shirts on, but that shirt kind of, I don't know, it just set the tone of the photo. And we'll put it up so they can see it and everything. But I just appreciate that, man. And that's crazy because that was divine intervention, man. I wasn't even supposed to be wearing that shirt. I had no intentions of wearing that shirt. And yet it made the shoot. You feel what I'm saying? So I appreciate
I
that.
like that. I can't wait to see it, man.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna be getting some more. Trust me.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we're going to be posting the picture, putting more of the pictures up live. So probably like in the next couple of weeks, we'll be putting them up on the site, also on our IG. So
Did you come up with that yourself? Perfect Nobodies? Like,
Yes.
that was you. You was just like,
That's us.
Me.
Yep.
I mean, I like the swag of it because, like, tell me, how are you a perfect nobody? Like, what is, explain that to me, bro.
So I guess you gotta just look what the definition of perfect nobodies is. Basically, you got a lot of people in the world that are perfectly fine being nobody, and that's not okay. Like, but at the same time, you don't have to be rich or famous to change the world. You can just be a person. So perfect nobodies is just really like a play on words to just let you know, yeah, nobody's perfect, but one single person can change the world. And that single person doesn't have to be famous, doesn't have to be rich. It could just be you, it could be me, it could be, the next generation coming up. So
It could be
That's how
any
it
perfect
comes.
nobody.
Yes.
perfect nobody.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's how it came to be,
So-
man.
Yeah, so understanding like a little bit more about the brand, what was the inspiration that made you decide out of all the things that I do? So I guess we should rewind, right? Let's warm up. Let's get people to get to know Carl, right? Because what y'all don't know is that Carl's kind of like a jack of all trades sort of person. Like when it comes to like using his mind to make money and to create profits, he does that even beyond that. So why don't you give us a little bit about your background and then how that translated into you developing the brand?
Let's see, how far back should I go? With every business, most business starters or most creatives, the successful business is never their first business, and this is actually not a magazine called Writing Groove. And with that magazine, I got to meet a lot of like famous people and a lot of people in the music industry or whatever. And that kind of opened my eyes to fashion. And I'm like, man, I could dress half these people, man. Like, so with that, I thought about having a Writing Groove clothing line to go with the magazine, but it just didn't work out. So then shut down the magazine, threw away all the thousands of business cards that I created and just went back to the drawing board. And I just wanted to create something that had a little bit more meaning. So then I also do graphic design. I do photography. I do music, do a lot of stuff. So trying to find something that I could put everything together. And definitely the clothing line Perfect Nobodies was born. I really made it for my kids. I got 2 girls, and I was working for a rap artist, and they wanted the money, they wanted the girls, they wanted this, that on an album cover. I made it. I designed it. It was a dope album cover. My wife looked at it and was like, "Is this something you want your kids to see?" And I was like, you know what? No, I don't want. Actually, I don't want my name attached to it. It's dope, but this is not what I want to leave behind as a legacy. So that pretty much pushed Perfect Nobodies to the forefront for me. And my kids love the line. My girls love. I designed leggings for them and T-shirts, and they absolutely love everything I make. And that in itself kind of just pushed me to keep moving forward with the clothing line and keeping it positive and coming up with the meaning and everything. So that really is my kids pretty much is what made this baby come alive.
From the mouths of babes,
Right.
Yes, definitely.
So was that part of your inspiration? I mean, some of the things you were inspired by, was it based off of family? Like what were they?
It's based off of family, but I also I do research as well. Like I'm a big fan of Dapper Dan. I'm a big fan of Kirby from which I can't think of the name right now. Big fan of Virgil Abloh. Big fan of just Pierre Moss. You know what I mean? So just looking at these Black designers take it to the next level. That's what kind of inspired me to come up, keep pushing and going with the brand and trying to be more in the lane of them than say just a t-shirt designer, really trying to step it up and actually get into hopefully one day having my own fashion house. So that would be awesome.
That's dope. And I mean, because I think it's cool because of the fact that, the name itself stands out. You know what I mean? Like when you hear Perfect Nobodies, man, it jumps off the shirt. You know what I mean? Because it makes you think. Like when I saw it, I was like, Perfect. I was like, first thing when we was in the room, we was like, yo. And we just started coming up our own concepts of just like what that could mean. You know what I mean? But it was like a room for conversation. Like it just, you know what I mean? So I think what you have here is something that does stand out. Because my brother, who has his own clothing line, Jules Athletics, but the thing I remember when he was working on trying to find the name was something that it just wasn't just a cool name to have, but it also could have meaning that could spark a conversation. You know what I'm saying? But also yet stand for something. You know what I mean? Because let's be real, it's hard to find a shirt clothing line that you're not going to make your name, right? Or try to make it one like a group, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But to have something that speaks of a specific topic.
I had a question for you though. Like fashion in Atlanta, like places you've seen and been around and like send fashion to people or people may ask you to make something custom for them.
Right.
What do you think about Atlanta fashion? Are we like ahead of it, behind it?
Of course, when you say fashion, everybody thinks New York, New York Fashion Week or whatever. I think Atlanta is slept on. And just like the music, how we're pretty much the forefront of music and we got slept on a long time with music until, Outkast took over. The same thing is going to happen with fashion. I really think that Atlanta has been slept on as far as the fashion scene. And it's a lot of designers here, a lot of designers in Atlanta. And I've seen stuff that I haven't seen anywhere else. and I think it's gonna change the scene. You know, New York Fashion Week is cool, but a lot of the stuff is what can I say? Clean, cut, safe. And I think you're gonna see some stuff that's coming out of Atlanta that's gonna be real edgy and real fashion forward, and it's gonna change some things.
I'm glad you said that. Because let's talk about it. All right, skinny jeans. Who did it? Why? And what the hell is going on?
All right, so skinny jeans is actually a Caribbean custom, man, brother.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Okay. See, you gotta ask.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you meet a lot of Caribbean brothers from Jamaica and things like that, they like to wear their stuff fitted. They want to, they want to be, they don't.
Show what you
the
working
baggy
with.
thing is a New York northern thing.
Yeah.
But if you go over to the islands, man, you can heavy-set brothers with some tight t-shirts on. You wonder, like, you can win exercise. That's their thing. That's their thing, and I think with the younger kids, man, skinny jeans just caught on. That's something they want to do. So they take our customs of sagging, because I think we're all about the same age. So we sag, and then they just took it to another step. So they're gonna sag the skinny jeans instead of sagging the baggy clothes. But
And see, I don't mind the whole skinny jeans without the sagging, like, because I like that whole, because that's growing up, that was my whole thing. I like the overseas style because it was all about being fitted for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think when it got to the whole, let's bring it to the U.S. and we go put our spin
what I
on
don't
it.
understand about fashion is okay.
You said it went crazy.
So look, so like
Fashion is art.
with trend setting, and we've talked about this before on the show. Like, and I'm so happy I have a designer here now.
Yeah.
So like, trend setting is literally just the dopest people out right now rocking your shit. That's it. If the dope people out are rocking that shit, they can set a trend with it.
yeah.
Yeah. But see, also, what about independent people? People coming up, because I know motherfuckers that rock shit, and it's it's just the motherfucker they know from around the way that's got they doing their hustle thing, or they rap, or they're a designer, and you see like different people rocking it. How do you draw that line in the sand to really set the trends, like to actually set them?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The cool thing about fashion is there's no formula. So what is popular for one clothing design may not be popular for the next, and really it's about whoever sees it. The right person sees it, the right person wore it, then you're popping. And that was the thing with, if you look at FUBU, they didn't care who they sent their clothing to. They sent it to every individual that they could possibly think of. And LL wore it. And once LL wore it, other people wore it, and it became trendy. Now, in this generation of the cool kids, it's actually kind of the opposite. It's the stuff that you can't get your hands on that is now the cool stuff. So the limited supply. So if I got, this jacket, this is the only jacket ever made by Perfect Nobodies of this type, and you have it, the next person is going to want to know, well, how can I get my own custom stuff made just for me and nobody else can have it? And I think that's in this day, 2020, that's really is what's driving the trend now. Yeah, you can go get a shirt that everybody got, but now it's like, okay, where can I get that?
Do you see that that's where fashion's going now? That it's everyone's going to be expressing themselves through fashion?
Absolutely, it's artistic expression, and they're removing the rules. If you look at modeling right now, you have more Black models than we've had ever in the history of modeling, and that's because the trends changed. Like now you have Black being beautiful across the world, across the globe. So now with that, you got to make clothing for different body types, and you gotta be expressive when you do that. So how can I make the sister with the hips look cool? Let me design something that's gonna fit and contour to her ethnicity, her beauty, her body, her hair, her arms, her eyes, and stuff like that. So then when you start making stuff like that, then you get away from the whitewashed world of fashion that it used to be. And I mean, if you even look at, Gucci, all of those Prada, all of them, they were actually biting off of Dapper Dan with the styles that he did. He just, he said, you know what? I'm gonna take this logo and I'm gonna put it over everything. And then Gucci was like, we should do that. Let me sue him first, and then we're gonna do that. And that's exactly what's going on right now, man. So like the bigger brands are now looking at the small brands to kind of get ideas.
Gotcha.
And you may not always get compensated for it. So intellectual property is definitely, but yeah, man, that's what's going on. That's how I'm seeing fashion going pretty much. It's no rules, no limits. And I mean, Kanye is a testament to that. So
right.
Yep.
Now, speaking of which, that's interesting you say that name for my next question, because this wouldn't be the What They Don't Tell You podcast without asking. You remember that interview we had with Sway and everything, and he was, you don't have the answers. A lot of people sit here and they want to make fun of him and talk about some of the things, how crazy he is. But let's keep it real. Even though he sounds crazy to some, this is like our cousin in the family, right? Mm-hmm. We all got one of these, but we know he ain't crazy. We know it may be weird what he's talking, but we understand what he's trying to say is that there's a certain level in all of our industries where it's hard for us to succeed a certain way without getting down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With having to go with the grain, with not being able to get this out or have this out, or putting certain symbolisms in your clothing to symbolize something that you don't technically believe in or about, or that kind of thing. What do you say about that?
With Kanye, if you replace the passion with the truth, he's a very passionate person, and he goes off on rants. But if you listen to what he's saying, especially about that interview where he's talking about fashion, he was 100% correct. As a Black designer, you just take a look at who's in charge of the fashion weeks in Paris. Look who has fashion houses. Just take a look at who's the creative director for some of these biggest brands. They don't look like us. They don't look like us, so they don't give us an opportunity really to put our foot in the door. So he wasn't just trying to come up with a t-shirt brand. He was trying to actually come up with a clothing line that will exceed or either compete with the likes of the Pradas, the Gucci's, the Givenchis, all the other stuff that we can't even pronounce. He wanted to compete on that level. And when you get to that level, you're gonna run into some roadblocks and run into some doors because that's their world, So he was right. I mean, but you see what happened now. Now you got people like Virgil Abloh who's getting a chance to be a creative designer, who's getting a chance to be a creative director.
To give him like the prestige and the clout.
Of color moving up. It's still not enough, but we're starting to see some changes, and you're starting to see them create some really cool stuff too.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. No, I was like, I noticed that you mentioned t-shirt brands a lot, and I think that sometimes in Atlanta, I feel like I'm just going to speak for Atlanta because that's where I live as well. You'll go to a fashion show and it will be 5 t-shirt lines. Yeah. What are your thoughts as far as like the saturation of just the t-shirt market, and how do you personally with Perfect Nobodies individualize yourself to not be seen as that? Just another t-shirt brand.
I don't think there's anything wrong with t-shirt brand. With the amount of saturation, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you equate it to, say, music right now, saturation of music, and for a long time, you had to be stuck with certain artists as your mainstream music. But now I can go listen to an underground artist that you never heard of, and you may like it. Same thing with the clothing line. You're not going to wear the same t-shirt every day.
True.
You know what I'm saying? It's 5 days of the week. You can have a different t-shirt for every day of the week. So why not buy from all 5 designers? Everybody can actually be successful. It is really I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's really just about create the hottest concept. So if you're just gonna create something simple and plain, then okay. But if you want to create something that's gonna stand out and catch people's attention, that's where I think you gotta step your game up because there is such a saturation. With Perfect Nobodies, we're kind of trying to step into a different lane. We started out with t-shirts. We started out with hoodies, actually. Wow. Then we went to the t-shirts. And then with me also being a graphic designer, I have like a million designs that I'm just sitting on, just waiting to slow release. I want to
so we get first dibs. Yes! You get first dibs. You heard it first on What They Don't Tell You.
But business-wise, not allowed to. Got to hold on to that. Slow release. I'm trying to first my business. I'm trying to set myself apart by learning how to sew, how to actually construct clothing. This jacket right here, I sewed this jacket. You know what I mean?
Can you go ahead and give us the full tour?
Yeah, yes. Swing that around, bro. Swing that around.
Oh shit! I didn't realize it was gonna change.
They just looked at the back. They didn't know. They didn't know that the front was different. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was different. Yo, I got
this jacket right here is a little concept I decided to do. I did this last week. You can actually, it's woven like
okay.
Oh shit!
Over into each other, and then flip it around. You know, I got something on the inside. Like a tiger or whatever.
That's hard, yo. That's hard, yo.
I purposely, on the inside, I purposely left the stitching exposed just because the outside is exposed. And I wanted it like that. I wanted it to be something different. You know what I mean? Like
most people, I wanted it like that. Don't nice, question me.
Whatever. I want to do something different. And then we even went with the bomber jacket that'll be out this fall.
Such a fan of bomber jackets.
I love that.
Just really.
What's that say on the back?
Huh?
What's that say on the back of it?
Oh, it's perfect. At the bottom.
Exactly.
And it has the lion, the same logo I got right here. Yeah. Exactly. So then we got, the hat, different colors, stuff like that. And then I think we got your favorite shirt right here.
There it is.
I'm gonna photo shoot.
But yeah, man, I'm really trying to be a student of the craft. And I think we show the proper respect for how clothes are made. I think that'll set us apart from everybody else. And what we've been doing is we offer the t-shirts because the money is there. Like people are buying the t-shirts, but I also offer leggings. I also offer.
I don't need them, bro.
For fitness, there are people who exercise. You have your Perfect Nobody leggings
and I will be coming out with the men leggings. They are fire. Trust me. You put a pair of shorts on top of them. I guarantee you, women are
go.
Okay. See, I'm from the art, so when we hear leggings, we think totally different type of leggings. I'm like, boy, I ain't put no tights on no more. I said, no. Sorry.
I said, no.
I was like, I really appreciate the fact that you were saying that you're taking the time to really develop in the craft. Yes, you started with hoodies and sweatshirts. You also continue to still do t-shirts, but you keep pushing the creativity and the skill level as a designer. How important is it, do you think, to continue to grow? Like, how easy is it to be like, well, this is selling, so I'm going to just do this, and then not have the rest of that path continue?
It's very important if you want to continue to exist past a year or two. Some people, I know a lot of people who started clothing lines.
Yeah.
And after a year or 2 years of seeing not a lot of big return, they quit. Wow. It could have been something totally dope. So you got to find something that is going to continue to interest you and allow you to just push your brand even further. Just making t-shirts is cool. You got some people that's making a killing off of just t-shirts.
Yep.
But if you notice, when they introduce a new item other than just a t-shirt, that item sells out very quickly.
That's true.
And I'll throw another brand in there. If you look at God is Dope.
Yes, God is Dope. You see that everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And as soon as he released the hat for God is Dope, hat sold out. You know what I mean? As soon as he released, a beanbag for God is Dope, the beanbag sold out.
Right.
So that's pretty much, they understand the concept of expanding, expansion, and keeping moving forward.
Is that something you see yourself doing? Is expanding?
Oh, absolutely. I've actually had to scale back.
Wow.
I'm expanding, maybe doing it too fast. So on the business side, because I am the designer, I am the person who's making the clothes, I am the person who's doing the screen printing, I'm the person that's doing all that. I have to wear different hats, and the designer in me says, "Nah, let it fly." Right. The CEO in me says, "Let's wait a minute, scale it back, give it to them a little at a time." Depending on who's on Instagram that night, you might get something nice.
Right.
Well, and then I know you talked about the family a lot. So why don't you talk a little bit about how the family influences the designs that you make? So we're on the site now, and I see the Youth My Life Matters t-shirt,
dope.
So, and also I know that you feature your daughters as models on your Instagram and all of that. So you're getting them into it. So let's talk about it. How is Perfect Nobodies becoming a family brand and a family business at that?
If you start with the symbol, we use lions for everything. This is a lion's cartoon version of a lion. The original logo, if you go to the webpage, you'll see it. It's a lion with a scarf on it. Looks like a pilot. The lion represents basically being a leader and leading, and you don't have to say much to lead. You know what I mean? You just do it. And that's pretty much how our family structure is. We over here, we're making leaders. So, if I open this door, my daughter will bust in here and take over the show. She is a natural born leader, a natural born person to be on stage. She is the show. She's the life of the party.
We gotta remember that.
So that is what
you said that.
To show them, okay, well, look, I'm gonna make something, and the representation of it means we're gonna lead. We're gonna lead in all categories. We're gonna lead, and being a leader doesn't mean being the loudest. You know what I mean? So we're gonna quietly do what we need to do, and we're gonna show an example like, hey, Perfect Nobodies is doing this. Perfect Nobodies is doing this, and Perfect Nobodies is doing this. That's the plan.
So Carl, I have a question for you. So I'm just checking out some of your merchandise, and I see you have a shirt that is "This is America" artwork tee.
Fire.
By Carl. Excuse me. It's beautiful. Yeah. First off, what you embraced right there is dope. Also, I want to ask, how much does, because I see that's Childish Gambino, right, y'all? Mm-hmm. So Childish Gambino, how much does music play a role in you coming up with new material, new art, new things for clothing? Does music play a big role or not really?
Probably like 90%.
90% is
only
music?
90. It's just 90.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I can believe that.
Why is that?
I mean, for me personally, I'm a music person. Like I play the saxophone. I used to produce. I understand.
I used to play the sax too, Carl. I played the alto, bro. You used to play the sax? Yo, man, don't make me come jam out with your ass, man. We will fuck them up, bro. We'll be on that motherfucker, bro. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Continue, sir. Continue.
I'm a huge music head. Like I said, Perfect Nobodies wasn't my first business. Just like everybody else in Atlanta, I had the home studio. And, I had the closet. I had the beats, the MPCs and all that. But I realized for me, it wasn't gonna make. It was my passion, but I didn't want to deal with what comes with that. So I found a way to just incorporate music into fashion. And whatever is moving me at the time, like when This Is America came out, I was like, yo, I gotta find some type of way to express how I feel about this song and this video and what's going on in the culture of the world right now. The best thing I could have done, I thought, was show him behind an American flag that's tattered and scattered. And like when you saw that, I feel like if you knew, you knew. And this shirt wasn't for everybody. This shirt was for the people who knew, you know? So yeah, that's how that shirt came to be. And I'm usually on the sewing machine with music in my ear the entire time. I'm usually on Photoshop with music in my ear the entire time. So to say that it doesn't influence my art, I can't say that.
So can I ask you, Carl, like, all right, this is just straight up. Is it just all hip hop, or do you just love anything that sounds good? Like, do you listen to mostly hip hop? Do you listen to pop? Do you listen to rock music sometimes?
I don't listen to rock. I'll listen to pop, kinda, but it's mostly jazz, rhythm blues, hip hop, neo soul. I try rock. I mean, honestly, the rock that I end up listening to sounds like hip hop. So I'm like, might as well. Like when I listen to the Gorillas, I'm like, they sound like hip hop to me. You know?
I do like the Gorillas.
The Gorillas are hip hop.
Yeah, there's some cool hip rock out there, man. Like,
but I mean, bro. The Gorillas, I'm not putting them in the rock genre. Yo, they're hip hop, bro. I mean, they may make a few rock songs, but yo, they are hip hop, bro.
Hey, man.
The Gorillas, yo, Carl, back me up right here, bro. That's a hip hop group, right?
If you look at the amount of songs they've made, they're hip hop.
Right.
They're hip hop.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
You might say, no, they're pop or they're rock, and then, but nah, to the core, they're hip hop.
Yeah, they try to hide it. They had some multicolored friends. No.
He said some multicolored.
But no, I gotta ask you one question before we go, Carl. A lot of my family members have started clothing lines, right? And we've had this discussion, and I think this is important for all the young artists that are trying to come out with their own line. What is the boundaries of creating something authentic and just a cool shirt, or biting off of someone, or having to deal with the consequences of getting sued because you took someone's logo and just made it your, those kind of things, those different aspects, because kids get creative, but they get to a point where you might be taking it from the wrong company here, buddy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And
I was like, sorry, just to add that, and also how, as a business owner, you would recommend you protect yourself from that.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I'll start with that first. Get your copyright, get your LLC, get your whatever you design, get it licensed, protect your intellectual property. If it's not protected, somebody just come along and take your whole name. And you're like, oh, but Perfect Nobodies, I started it. Well, you don't have any proof that you started it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There has to be somewhere, some license, some document, something with your clothing name and your name attached to it. It needs to be legally binding. So definitely, I mean, starting an LLC is what, $100? That's a pair of Jordans. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. It's nothing. Getting your copyright is not that much money. I mean, for copyright, it's like maybe like $400 to copyright your logo and your name. Definitely get it protected. It's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. Because the person that is going to take that from you is probably going to make billions. So it depends on how you see it. I wasted opportunity of spending $500 and starting a business versus I just lost $1 billion on this person taking my idea. I think when you think of it like that, that'll push people to actually do what they need to do and get their paperwork done and get everything straight. Get your tax IDs. They're free. They give out free tax IDs.
They're free. Absolutely. Get that EIN number. Yes.
Yeah, get your state and your federal EIN number. It's free.
Yep.
Get you a separate bank account. Attach that federal EIN number to it.
Yep.
And if you decide you want your business to take out, credit and stuff like that, that's how you do it. And, protect yourself. Yeah. As far as copywriting and biting, I'm against it, man.
Go, Carl.
Yeah.
I was on that side.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear him.
Yeah.
And I think about it, I'm like, man, the amount of hours that I've spent creating a design and a concept, and then you just come and take it is just, it doesn't seem fair. I know we live in America, and fair is just not, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
There's rules to this
to me,
shit,
it's like stealing, man. It's rules to it, yeah. It's equal to somebody coming into your house and taking your TV off the wall,
Right.
Like, that is, hey, we got problems with that.
He's right. Yeah, he's right.
And they just walk out with it.
Cause I'd be upsetting in the month. Like, you come back, your TV gone, you gonna be
I
hurt.
was like, does someone know him?
You gonna be hurt.
Some trying to take it, some trying to bring it back and sell it to you. Like, nigga, that's my TV.
Prove it then. Gotta put your initials on everything.
I don't know. I do a fairly large brand that got caught. Starts with an F, ends with an A. A lot of people like it. A lot of people wear it.
Oh, wow.
They got caught stealing from another fashion designer in New York. She wasn't as big as them, but she blasted them. She had enough followers to basically call them out. And they were literally stealing her designs. Everything she designed, they were just taking and remaking, selling it for pennies on a dollar.
Yeah.
She called them out. They end up reaching out to her, brokering a meeting. So now they got a business deal together. But, don't always happen like that. But definitely, I'm 100% against it, man. It makes my skin crawl.
No, I feel you though, because I think that's one of the things that these young kids, they always think they're doing something new.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Then you got hit up with, boy, don't you know somebody had that before you?
Long ago.
It's like, do your homework, man.
Yeah.
I
mean, they got something
I can understand that. You know what I mean? A logo can look logo. Obviously, one of my lions is going to look like somebody else's lion, but if you blatantly take their logo, like you took the element in that logo that makes it special, then you know what you did. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I like
true.
the way you put that. Right? Sometimes things will look similar. And it's like that in the comedy world too. Like, the joke may sound kind of similar, but there's certain like lines in jokes that if you go and say it like that, you just stole that man's joke, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We all gonna say, "Oh, take my wife," or "look at my kids," or white people this. Like those are just universal, but it's how you say it.
Right.
And the same thing, like you said, your line, it may look similar to something on the other side of the globe, but the essence of that on the other side of the globe has nothing to do with what came out of his mind.
Right.
Right.
That's real.
And then whoever has the documentation at the end of the day.
That's it. Paper's everything, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Like I said,
Proof is in the pudding. Ain't that what they used to say? I never understood that phrase, by the way. Proof is in the pudding.
What's the pudding?
What's the pudding got to have proof in it for? Is that
See,
a degree? I'm just saying.
Like alcohol? Is it like Jello shots? We talking about Jello shots?
You gotta ask yourself.
Why do you just make my brain explode right now? Because the proof is in the pudding, but now I don't know what the fuck that means. Thanks, DJ.
Well, pudding pops aren't around anymore.
It's something you pick up from your grandparents.
Well, we know what happens to girls that eat pudding pops.
So on that note,
sorry,
a
Carl.
whole mess.
Sorry.
A whole mess.
Well, before we go, man, one thing we gotta know is what's coming up, man. Tell us about things you got coming up in the future. If you got any events or
Any
things we should look out for.
pop-up
Yeah.
specials
Things
happening
you
on the
can be-
website.
Like
Definitely how
any
you can be
lines
followed.
you want to use us for to put out,
Social
or
media, video, all that.
any type of venue.
Phone
you want
numbers,
us
social security number.
all that,
You're gonna need some blood type.
Go ahead, we got time. Go ahead, tell us what you got. Go ahead.
Right before COVID, we actually had a pop-up show scheduled downtown on 14th Street. It was going to be nice. It was going to be really, really nice. We had teamed up with another company. They reached out. They actually have nothing to do with clothing. They like what we were doing at Perfect Nobodies, and they wanted to invest. And the best way they was going to do it was basically give us a location downtown for free and let us have a pop-up shop.
Nice.
So hopefully when the fall gets here, depending on what these numbers do with COVID, we usually sell out of everything when we do the pop-up shops. If that doesn't happen, What you might find is a Perfect Nobody's custom Instagram page pop up to where we will be doing custom stuff, one-on-ones.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
those, price points are a little higher on those,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it'd be well worth it. It'd be dope stuff that you can't find anywhere else. So that's probably what we got. What's going on, man? I got an inventory of stuff downstairs in the garage that I know people are gonna want, and it's just getting it out there in front of them, getting it to them.
Yeah.
So Keisha, I got a crop top hoodie. So let me know.
Boom! There it is. Yes. I'm excited. Go for it.
Got it in lime green. I got it in this
sure,
color.
you got my colors.
Got it in navy blue. So
Oh,
it ain't
you
even out yet.
DJ was like, I'm back. He don't want no crop top hoodie though.
No, he work out. It's cool. He gonna just have the abs.
I just said I can't do much with a crop top. It look weird. I'm just saying it look weird.
But one of the things, so I was like, I know we're wrapping
But I'm a
up.
perfect nobody though, so.
I was like, I know we're wrapping up. Yes, you are. Nobody's perfect. When you were talking about the because of COVID, right? So it's doing a pop-up shop. Have you seen some of the virtual fashion shows now where it is like a synthetic model and it's just the clothes moving? There's no human components at all. What are your thoughts on that? Sorry, because I just brought that back
I
up.
think it's a fire concept. I thought whoever came up with it, I think it was an African designer, a designer that was from Africa. She was the first one to do it. And all you saw was the clothes moving, but it was the shape of you could see the shape of the person, but that's a fire concept.
Mm.
I hope it doesn't get watered down like, hologram performances.
Right.
Hologram concerts, that didn't take well. It was fire when it happened the first time, but let's not do it all the time. I still appreciate seeing a person wear my clothes.
Okay.
I still appreciate a model because what I want to see is I want my kids to see a representation of them actually wearing the clothes. And CGI is cool. It's innovative. It's great for the movies. And for it to happen once or twice is cool. You know what I mean? It's something new, something different. But I would still like to see a runway. I would like to see a person rocking it, So it's a trend, you know what I mean? But hopefully it don't become too.
Yeah, I was like, virtual fashion shows are a thing now too. You will have the whole fashion show, they record it and then play it back, and it'd be like two people in masks in the audience. But that's what we're doing now. Like that's what fashion has come to now for keeping everyone safe. And that's the only way that they can really keep it going. To your point, being able to have the runway. So at least the models are still working. The designers are still able to showcase. It's just the audience is completely different now.
Right, and as far as not the audience not being there, I'm cool with that. Actually, we had a concept for that last year to do something like that. We were going to basically stream the entire fashion show and have a concert in the background. The only people that was going to be at the fashion show was bloggers and photographers. That was it. Everybody else was going to have to live stream the whole thing, and that's where we're at now.
That's gonna be the way.
That's literally what's happening.
Because I
now.
would literally be in there like, these motherfuckers done came in here. That'd be dope. That'd be dope, yo. For real. And what I love about it is, like I said, looking at your site, like your prices are
Very
awesome
reasonable.
for the style and quality of what you bring, man. These prices is really good, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm working on now getting some in-house equipment to get the prices even lower. That's what I really want to do. I really want to be able to give people, I want my shirt or my clothing or my leggings in everybody's house, whether I give you a free shirt or you buy the shirt for $5.99 and I just make my money back. Like, at least I'm a household name, and there's an image attached to that. And I think, like you said, it's a conversation starter. So what's this perfect Nobodies or this perfect shirt with the backwards F? Like, what does that mean?
right.
That's where we hope to be, man.
And I think that's important too, because you got it's to a point where I know I can get opportunity to wear something that's going to be good quality. Because I tell you one thing, I used to do a lot is, if I had to go get some some clothes just to rock for one night, right? I just go to one of the little corner stores, you know, with the with the kind of like the lines you ain't never really heard of. I ain't going to the mall. I'm talking about the little, you know, every hood spot, every hood corner got one of those stores that's got some t-shirts, got some jeans.
Yeah, 5 points.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't never heard. But what I love about it is that I see your brand being something I see in a boutique, in a Target, in a Walmart. You know what I mean? It's that style quality. And still have the prices like that, because a lot of kids, even when I was out in LA, they have this notion that if you want to become like a boutique type clothing line, I gotta rack up at least $100 on this shirt. It's like, dude, do you want people to have your stuff? Like,
yeah,
you gotta create some avenue. Because but it's funny because even when you look at the celebrities now who are clothing line, like I was just watching Damian Lillard, he's trying to make his sneaker affordable to, you know, kids who can't even buy shoes. But yet that's someone whose name is worth millions. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I like the concept, but you know, I'm just saying.
Now the plan for us is to have both.
Right.
We want to have the luxury stuff, but we also want to have the stuff for the everyday people. Right. And I think that's where the custom stuff comes in at, because we're spending more money. The price point is based on material. Right. You know what I mean? So we're spending money on certain materials to add into something that does make the price go up. So like, you know, a t-shirt will always be the cost of a t-shirt. Yeah, like I've seen some companies and a t-shirt is $45 for just a regular t-shirt. And I'm like, but it only costs you $2.99 for that t-shirt. Right. So you put your image on it, you know, Supreme, and you know what I mean? It's $150 for a t-shirt.
It is. And people are scrambling for that.
It's crazy.
Scrambling. They're like, it's high end. I'm like, is it?
Nothing special about it other than the name.
Yeah.
If I was to sell a $150 t-shirt, there's a diamond in there somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right. There's a raffle for a TV in there or something.
Yeah. There's something in there that's making it worthwhile, you know?
Right.
So.
And then from the creative side, I know you also do some of your own commercials. So I know on the IG, I was able to look at the dance studio and the one where you had like all the movement and all of that. What would you say is probably like, I don't know, like your best experience working behind the camera to produce the product, to market your product?
My best experience? I can't really say what my best experience is because it keeps getting better. Like every time I meet with somebody to do something, I get a new idea and a new concept, and the quality of it keeps improving. So, you know, my fashion shoot from a year and a half ago versus my fashion shoot today will be totally different. And every project that I do, I'm going to like it even more. So like, you know, I'm going to like it more than the last until I can produce something. I don't think that's ever going to stop. So I can't really say. I don't know.
I like those hoodies on your site. Like that's what I'm sitting here. That's what I'm going through your site.
You started shopping.
Like,
he's like, oh, this is dope. Let me see what
I mean, for real, dude.
Yeah. Overnighted, please. They'll be in there.
Well, I really like that one of Outkast with the lion heads. Yeah. I'm a huge Outkast fan. Like I've loved them Southern Playalistics. I've been there since the very beginning. Dungeon family. Like I'm a big fan. Now, see, you got hoodies, and these are new arrivals. Let's go.
Yeah. And I mean, and like I said, guys, they have styles for like everybody. Yeah. Really. Like I mean, I can see white, black, you know, Asians, everybody wearing this style. It's not something they're. In other words, I'll put it to you like this: you wouldn't know as a black person, running this line. Like you
don't know, man. Love, it's a verb.
You know what I'm saying?
Some brothers made that shit. I'm sorry.
But I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just the style, you know what I mean? The creation, the artistry of it, like.
Yeah.
Across the board.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, like he's making sure he can reach everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm still sorry, man. It's just so many shirts. You know somebody.
Oh no, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like,
I'm sorry, man. White folks, we love y'all too, but white folks
nigga made that now.
Like, look at this, man. White folks can't put no stank on nothing like that. Now look at the stank on that. You know what I'm saying?
I
got the shades.
I get it, man.
Unapologetically tank tops. Look at that.
Right.
Look at that. That's dope,
That's
bro.
dope, bro.
You know this is a black line, and it looks fabulous. Like you know, still
That was dedicated to the sisters.
My mom would love this.
Yeah,
Hey, man.
yeah.
Look,
I
bro.
might get one of those. I'm probably
I'm about to put some shit on. I'm about to call you and be like, man, let me put some shit on layaway.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
hey,
this payment
Yeah,
plan.
you got a layaway plan. Like if I put $4 down now,
You know,
Like, if I let you hold my food stamp card, my
you know what I
EBT.
mean? If I give
Nah,
you
but-
$4 today and $2 tomorrow, can I get it?
But
next
seriously,
week?
like he's, you know, this is really good stuff, though. Y'all.
Nah, yeah, it's
It
beautiful,
is.
bro.
It's real good.
Like I love it.
appreciate. And to
Now,
give you some
how do we get in touch with you?
background, that casting shirt that was actually made last year. So these are some of the designs I said.
okay.
I've been sitting on designs and images in my head, and we just slow releasing them, man.
Bruh, Black Love t-shirt. I love that. If I had a girlfriend, me and her would you know what? We're not gonna talk about it.
You don't even have to
Some motherfucker said if I had a girlfriend on the air.
He's like,
I
we
get
both
you.
have one and we both around in public.
Both of y'all don't have to have
Yeah,
it. You just have to
I'll get it and hold it.
He
in the
said
closet.
both of y'all don't have to have it.
Yeah, I'll put mine in the closet. I'll wait. You know what I mean? I'll buy it and we'll hold it for later. But no, but tell us, man, how does everyone get in touch with you? Tell everybody how to reach you, bro.
It's Perfect Nobodies everything. Perfect Nobodies on Instagram. Perfect Nobodies on Twitter. Perfect Nobodies on Facebook. Email is info@Perfect Nobodies. The website is legit. Everything's legit. Everything, all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. That's us, man.
That's
And I
what's
say
up.
that's us because my wife plays a role in this too.
Oh, that's beautiful, bro.
Okay.
She's an inspection person, so nothing will leave out of this house without being visually inspected by her. And if it ain't right, you know, she'll definitely
Black
tell
love,
me.
bro.
She'll let you know.
Yeah, do Black Love, man. See what I'm saying? That's why we ain't doing nothing. We ain't making nothing of ourselves, y'all. I ain't got no goddamn body. Shit.
Hey man, I'm about to buy some. Hey man, I'm about to buy some of this shit. I'm
Nah,
gonna just
for
tell
real,
you
bro.
right now. I'm about to buy some of
Yeah.
this shit.
Do it,
This shit.
man.
He's like, let's do it. He's like, ain't
They got
nothing but to
mugs
do
on
it.
here, y'all.
Yeah,
Like,
this is dope. The Queen mug.
look at that. That's dope. Yeah.
Like for my mom and shit for
Definitely,
Mother's Day or
definitely do it
Christmas or
soon
something.
because the website will be changing. Some of that stuff might disappear.
Oh really?
Limited time
Gear.
only.
Get your gear.
Yes.
You better
Get your
get it while
gear.
you can
He
then.
did say
Yeah.
it's like that COVID creativeness.
Yeah, I
Right,
have
right.
to, I have to scale some stuff back just based on that's the CEO talking.
I hear you. I hear you.
that hat.
Yes.
You know,
Right. Well, man, look, we want to thank you for joining us today, man, here on B Squad Backstage. All right, everybody, y'all, like I said, go out there and check them out, man. Perfect Nobodies. It's a great clothing line for everybody, reasonable prices, all right? So check them out. Info@Perfect Nobodies.
so at
Right.
Perfect Nobodies up.
Go check it out, all right? We are your hosts, DJ Mifflin,
Keisha Williams.
Keith Vance.
and we are the B Squad. All right, y'all take care. Holla at you. B Squad.
Appreciate you.
appreciate it,
Thank
man.
you, Carl.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl.
Until next time.